Yo, what is going on today, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today's video, we're talking a little bit about competitive Smite, just kind of what the metas looked like, who are the teams that won. We had the first leg of the Vegas tournament, Road to Vegas, whatever you want to call it, the land that's in Vegas in January. The pathway to get there started on Saturday for EMEA and Sunday for NA. A lot of good teams kind of went at it. So just to show you guys the EMEA side of things, a lot of European players here. The 5 teams that I highlighted are the 5 teams that I would keep my eye on the most. Giovanni Giorgio, we have Coast, Kha'Zix, Dardes, Adapting, and Nika. Smokebreak, we have Ekrom, Silenced, Angry, Johnny Benko, and this is Deathwalker. And then Team Risk, Streak, Genetics, Theeks, which is Big Man Tings, Lasbra, and Variety. A little bit of King's history here. Streak is kind of a SEC player that's been around for a while. And then Lasbra was on the Dragons team that won last year. So King, Dragon. And then we have just a good ADC player from EU. Mockingbird is Spudio, Raffer, Hawk, Rapio, and Ducky. 2 Valks players and a couple pretty good SEC players. Tythonic, which is AC, Callus, Emmanuel, Ice, and Nil. Ice and Callus are 2 of the old rival players. Nil's an up-and-coming solo laner. I don't know too much about AC and Emmanuel, but the reason I have them highlighted is because this is a team that went to the semifinals. It's a best of 3 in finals. Team Risk did end up 2-0ing Smokebreak, but this is what the bracket looks like if you guys want to kind of pause and look at, like, you know, which team placed where if you're interested in this type of things. Surprisingly, Team Risk beat Giovanni Giorgio. I think Giovanni Giorgio was the favorite coming into it. Nika, Dardes, Coast, 3 Worlds winners from last year. Adapting's won multiple times, and then Kha'Zix is considered one of the best supports in EU. He's probably the second best right after Genetics currently. So this is a little bit of an upset, but I mean, is it really that much? Streak, Genetics, Big Man, Lasper, Variety. Like, these are 2 very, very good teams. A lot of people consider that to be the finals. Smokebreak did play very well. They did beat Tythonic. Smokebreak, the team of Ekrom, Silenced, Angry, Johnny, and Deathwalker. They did look a little outmatched by this Team Risk team. Team Risk was prioing Hecate a lot for Big Man. And then nothing too surprising with P's and B's in EMEA. Jing Sol considered the top 2 ADCs in duo. Support was mostly Ymir, Fenrir. Bacchus was banned a lot, and then actually Fenrir was surprisingly banned a lot too. So Ymir was kind of considered the best support for most of the day. Well, most played, still probably not the best. Bacchus is probably still considered the best. Mid lane was Hecate, Neath, and then Cern was sprinkled in a little bit. Jungle was a lot of Susano, Fenrir, Loki. I think Fenrir was considered the best jungler and one of the best picks. He was actually getting banned a lot. Solo was Bacchus, Odin, Bellona. After watching EMEA, I think the 4 top gods were probably Bacchus, Fenrir, Jing, and Hecate. Those gods were doing a lot and were banned in a lot of games or were early picked. Going over to NA, the 6 teams I have highlighted are like kind of the favorites, the teams that went the farthest. Borscht is Panda Cat, Fino K in support, Pegon, Rat Milk, and Baskin with Awesome Jake as the sub, who ended up playing actually in this tournament. Fino K went to solo lane. Jake played support. Baskin was unable to play. Food Drive for Globe was Tegveer, Happen, Globe, Valo, and Karmic. This was that team that kind of came out of nowhere at the end of last year. SEC Darling competed into the SPL to make it to World, or against the SPL teams to make it to Worlds. They unfortunately did not, but they did look pretty good doing it. And that's kind of why I think Rat Milk got this opportunity to play on Borscht. Team name, but with 5 M's, Cyclone Spin, PBM, Benny Q, Scream, and Cherry. A little weird seeing Cherry in solo lane, but overall still just a really talented team. Cowabunga, far and away the most dominant team so far for NA. Yarkor, Aurora, Paul, Panatom, Solo Troll. Very, very strong team. Bello, Tuba, Rongu, Jangaru, Oath, and Rem. Rem is a higher tier SEC player. Not one of the best solos in NA in my opinion, but still very good. Karmic is kind of that same thing. I don't think Karmic was on this team, but I could be wrong. And then we obviously know Oath, Jangaru, Tuba, and Rongu. Lastly, Scrumptious was Zatman, El Leon in support. Shinto, Nog in the jungle, and Haddix. And looking at the tournament, Scrumptious actually ended up winning. Now, down here, Scrumptious did beat Cowabunga, but it's kind of like a star next to it because, unfortunately, Yarkor was disconnecting the entire game. Game is an alpha. There are some things that aren't fixed, and there is no pause, so it is very sad. There needs to be a pause added to customs. We need to be able to pause if somebody disconnects, and they didn't let them remake. So Scrumptious beat Cowabunga, but are they the better team? Maybe. I'm not saying they aren't the better team. I'm not saying Cowabunga guarantees wins this, but that is a game that would have been very exciting to see, but we didn't really get to see it because of those disconnects. Team name, but with 5 M's, the PBM Scream team lost to Cowabunga in quarterfinals. Borscht beat Bello in the quarterfinals also. Those are the two teams that I kind of highlighted. So they did make it still pretty far, just lost in quarters. Food Drive for Globe actually surprisingly beat Borscht. It is a best of one, so anything can happen. But I mean, you look at these teams, Borscht sticks out as a lot better, but yeah, a little surprising to see that happen. And then Scrumptious ended up 2-0ing Food Drive for Globe in the finals. Food Drive for Globe was actually playing Susano ADC, which was a little interesting, but there was a lot of Odin Prio, a lot of Bacchus Prio in NA, which is no surprise when you think about how aggressive NA is. And there's actually a little bit of Hades play also, which was interesting. Going into next week, the teams will have to, again, play another one of these tournaments this weekend. I will be live streaming the EMEA ones Saturday at 8 a.m. I think this games start at 9 a.m. though. I will not be streaming NA this week because the Vikings play at 1 o'clock and the NA side of things starts at 11 a.m. on Sunday. So unfortunately, I will be missing the NA side of things, but I will still be going over these in a video. So if you guys are interested in this, make sure you like this video so I can make sure to know you guys like it so I can keep making videos like this, because usually SPL and competitive content doesn't do as well. But if this is something that interests you guys, I will keep doing it. Just a quick look at what the road looks like. The first week happened last week. We have another one of these open bracket tournaments this week of September 21st and 22nd. And then the top 8 teams from both NA and EU will go over to the Swiss bracket. Top 8 advance to playoffs. Bottom 8 will go to this last chance qualifier. There's also going to be another open bracket. So if you aren't one of those top 16 teams, you can compete in this to make it to the last chance qualifier to have a chance to make it to playoffs. So they're competing for a lot. They're competing for points to make it into that Swiss bracket. So they're going to be competing again. The ones that are probably safe are those teams that won. But even second place teams, I think we'll have to play again just to guarantee a spot. Yeah, that is the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.